Right now, joining us in the studio is one of our clients, one of those families with a hostage in the Gaza Strip.
Jordan, thank you. I've got Doris and I are in our studios in Washington, D.C. Doris, this is very difficult, and you have had to talk about this for the last 24 hours to a lot of different people. Mm-hmm. Our audience hasn't heard from you directly, and I think it's important that they do it. I remember yesterday when we were in the meeting with Jordan's friend, Congressman Moskowitz, and some of the Democratic leadership that came, as well as Debbie Wasserman Schultz was there. And I know she hugged you and she hugged the others.
Incredible, yeah.
She was very emotionally moved. I want to ask you this. It's important to people understand. Your boy, your son, you didn't ever expect this to happen. Tell us a little bit about Guy first.
Well, Guy's he's a sensitive guy. He sees the world in terms of music. That's how he sees the world. And he is, he's a friendly kind, and he is the glue of his tribe of friends, and just gets bigger and bigger. And,
So I want to take you back to October 7th. I know this is really painful, but let's go there. Yeah. He was at the Nova Festival, the Peace Festival.
Yeah.
What happened? How did you first hear?
Well, I actually called him since there were sirens.
So sirens going off where you live?
In all Israel. I didn't know that at the time, but it happens in Israel.
Right.
It was early in the morning, and I just, went to the safe room, crawled under his bed because that's the safe room. But it was like something was bothering me. I had to call him. I called him. When
you called him, what were you expecting to hear?
That everything's okay.
Right.
Yeah. I didn't know what's happening. I didn't even open up the news because, You're
expecting everything okay. You get on the phone. What happens?
I asked him if they were evacuated, if they heard the siren as well. And he said, so I asked if the, forces evacuated him, and he says, we evacuated ourselves.
You said that was unusual for him to make that kind of statement. We've evacuated ourselves. Why is that so unusual?
Because it's like the party was out in the desert.
Right.
There are forces, of course, but it didn't even seem like a scenario. It didn't even rise up in my head. We Israelis know the drill. We have a siren, we go to a safe place, and that's it. So that's what I was expecting.
He tells you we're evacuating ourselves. Then when he tells you you asked him where he was going to go?
Yeah, I asked him where is he driving since he
was in the car.
Yeah, and he says, I don't know. And that hit me. What do you mean you don't know? So he says, I didn't decide yet. But you're driving. Where are you going? So he said, yeah, now I decided I'm coming home. The previous night was a holiday. I had a big dinner made. And he hardly ate, and I made him the soup that he likes the most. So he said, I'm coming back home to eat your soup.
So you were expecting at that point, there was some problems down there, but your boy was on the way home. Your son was on the way home.
Yeah.
And then you get a call 30 minutes later from his father.
Mm-hmm.
Tell our audience what happened.
That it was like a hysterical voice on his side, and he was like, do you know where Guy is? And yeah, of course I know where Guy is. He's on his way home. He said, no, he's not on his way home. He just called. He's in a terror attack, and his friends are killed, and I'm putting you on the line.
With him?
Yeah. I was like, it still didn't hit me.
Right.
So he puts me on the line, and then it, it starts sinking down since I hear shooting.
You heard the gunshots?
I do.
Okay, so there was an ongoing attack at that point.
Yeah.
his father told him to not speak.
Exactly.
Why? Because he was afraid he would.
That they would hear him. I didn't hear this, but he was speaking to him, and he said that he was hiding in a tree trunk or behind a tree trunk, and his father told him, just look around, try to find dead bodies, and try to crawl under a dead body, act like you're dead. And yeah.
That was the last call?
That was the last call. I actually, regret this till this day. I didn't want him to speak. He wanted to. He
wanted to stay.
He wanted to say his last words. He wanted to, say goodbye. He said that he loved us. He said, "Daddy, I love you. Mommy, I love you." And I say, "Guy, I love you. I'm going to get somebody to take you out now. Don't worry. Just stay put."
At that point, did you know he'd been shot?
No.
How did you find that out?
Right after I disconnected, of course, I called the, police, and they just said that they know about the incident. And then I called his father back. His father was already on the way to that area.
Yep.
And then he filled me in with all the details, and he told me that,
You were eventually notified that Guy is, he was shot, but that he is a hostage.
No, I didn't know that he was a hostage. Nobody knew that he was a hostage.
That came out later when the military said we believe he is?
It was about over a week after
so
that.
So he was a missing person at first.
Yeah.
And then they reported that they believed he was a hostage.
Exactly.
You want to know the status of your son?
I do. I want to know that he's alive. First of all, I
want you to look at that camera right there in the studio and tell us what you want.
I want each and everybody to just, do a phone call. You voted on congressmen, senators, anybody with any power to do a change, to do action. This is the time to, do it. Help us all. I'm here not only talking for Guy, but for so many other mothers, sisters, brothers. We all want to know what's happening.
You want to see your son again?
You
want him back?
I need him desperately. He's my only son.
Okay.
I have nothing else.
We're doing everything we can, as you know. We got a whole team that are doing it. We're going to continue. Obviously, we're going to all pray. We're taking action as well. So you were with Mike Pompeo today with the former Secretary of State here. He's helping as well. Doris, thank you for sharing this with us.
Thank you for the opportunity.